Tom Cruise's seemingly last outing as Ethan Hunt was finally shown in a full trailer for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, hitting theaters on May 26th. The high-octane trailer looks back at previous Mission Impossible entries and hints that all that has happened to the main character has been on purpose. Whose excitement is flying high after watching this trailer?
Mine is obviously, first of all, before we get into anything else, this trailer slaps. We have Timmel, right? Timmel. His name is kind of hard to say for our Severance people, which I'm very excited that we got to see him in the trailer too, because we only recently learned that he was going to be in it. And we have Nick Offerman, which wasn't on my bingo card, but I'm really happy about it. And so I think that maybe those two characters are related. Like maybe they're going to, they're in the military together. Anyway, I'm so excited. This movie looks awesome. I loved all of the flashbacks to all of the other entries. We get, from the first one, we get the rabbit's foot from the third movie. We get this soundbite that the bomb in Ghost Protocol was actually supposed to blow Ethan up. Like, it's going to be very interesting that they're trying to tie all these threads together. I don't know that I 100% love it, but at the end of the day, I love these movies so much that I'm probably not really going to care. And Tom Cruise is hanging off of an airplane because he wants to make really good movies because he's crazy. I'm so excited.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. This is going to be a great movie. I have no doubt. And it's just, it can be cheap because so often you get these like, this is the final outing, and it isn't really. Yeah. But I think this is the final outing. I think he's been doing these movies a long time. They've all had Tom Cruise in them. Like a lot of times you get sort of these, franchises that'll start with an actor and it'll sort of like the Bourne movies. They'll move on, and they'll be like, oh, it's not the same. And they'll come back, and he's been in these movies. Is this the 8th or is this the 7th?
The 8th, I believe.
The 8th. Yeah.
7th, part 2. Yeah.
It just feels like a real ending that they're planning to do, and they're going to, and that's just always exciting, and it gives it a little bit more prestige than just another outing, because everybody's going to want to bring their A game to close it out well, and it really makes me. I know we just did our Bingers Assemble 2 years ago for this, and I want to go back and rewatch them all again to remind myself. But I guess I can listen to our podcast instead of rewatch them because that's the whole thing we do. But I could do both. Yeah, I could do both. I'm very, very excited for a final outing for Ethan Hunt.
I'm very curious if it is the final outing. We got a lot of final outings in a lot of different movies, but if this is it, hopefully it just goes out on as big a high as it can go. I'm sure Tom Cruise wants to just keep outdoing himself. The barrel roll looks awesome. I'm already very excited to see that in theaters. I was not big on these growing up, and then Rogue Nation hit, and I watched Mission Impossible Rogue Nation just randomly one day, fell in love with it, had to catch up. It's one of my favorite series now. So yeah, I'm with you all on this and very excited. But I do wonder, like, what percentage do you think this really is Ethan Hunt's last go? Or could it be his last go and we just keep doing more Mission Impossibles but setting up another character? Because we tried that before with Jeremy Renner, and Ethan had to take that right back over.
Well, he didn't even get a movie though.
No.
Right, but it was supposed to.
Jeremy Renner also tried to do Bourne. I think it's what you're maybe thinking of.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
No, I think it was both. Yeah, I think Tom Cruise just loves this character too much. I think he was like, no, I got it in me. Don't worry. like shoot me up with some steroids. I'll do it. I'm 85% sure this is the last one. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, would he stop? I don't know. I just feel like maybe his life's goal is to die making one of these movies. Just because he always does all these crazy things.
Listen, he is not done in this character. He might be done for now, but the Hollywood time is pretty short. You give him 3 or 4 years, we're going to hear about another Mission Impossible movie. It's going to happen. He's going to get the itch.
He'll be 65 by then.
I know, but that's the Everest. It's I did it at 65.
Right.
True.
Yeah.
Maybe that tees up the whole thing for 15 years down the line. Tom Cruise is gonna do, some Oscar baity movies for a few years, try to get that Oscar in. He's gonna be in the Alejandro Inarritu movie, coming up. Maybe you'll do a Tarantino's last flick or something. Do all this, great acting, remind everybody he's an actor. He hits like 75, close to 80. And they decide Mission Impossible reboot. Let's bring him in. The Harrison Ford role. He's still going to get in one stunt, and he's going to die making the movie, and it's going to be the biggest blockbuster ever, thanks to Tom Cruise.
There's actual age and there's Tom Cruise age. Like, I don't care what number. Like, I'd throw any number at me. I don't care. It's Tom Cruise. Like, he's different. It's just he's different. He drove a motorcycle off a cliff, and he is hanging from an airplane. Like, it's Tom Cruise.
I see a lot of discourse of people of I'm going to say certain age that say Tom Cruise is like the last great movie star. I don't even know if I agree with that on the level of like he'll do anything, because I think that there are other actors out there who will. I just think that he has the corner on this market of being like, I don't know. What do you guys think about that sentiment? I find it interesting.
I don't know about movie star, but I think he is unquestionably the greatest action star that we have alive today. I can't think of a better action star than Tom Cruise. Just that we have on our in the world. I can't think of a better one. Of course, there are some who are more athletic, and but the pedigree and the history of Tom Cruise, like I don't think we have anyone up there at that point. So I can kind of see what you mean, because he is a unique breed of person.
I'm not saying this. Other people are saying this. I just want to clarify so the trolls don't come after me.
He is a very unique breed of actor, and I don't know if we will have someone like him have the career that he had again. Of just continually making these insane life-risking stunts and just like feats of athletic achievement on the screen just through decades of career. I don't think we have that kind of person, because he's very unique as a person and as an individual, but as an action star, I don't think there's anyone like him.
I don't think we're going to have anyone like Tom Cruise ever again, but I also don't think we're ever going to have anyone like Brad Pitt again, or a number of other big stars. There's a thing that happened with the internet. I think I've talked about this on the show before. It's one of my theories of what's happening in Hollywood right now, and it's just this sort of like people that were famous around when the internet started are still famous, and they're going to keep being famous because they're the last monoculture we had. After the internet became culture and YouTube became culture, like everyone has their favorite thing, and like back when Tom Cruise in the 80s, like everyone's mom's favorite actor was Tom Cruise. Like every kid on your block, their mom was watching Tom Cruise movies. That doesn't happen anymore. Everything's so bifurcated, and like, so I think there's a whole generation of actors that will still be like, until they all die off, they will still be the biggest action stars, the biggest whatever. And I don't know if they'll ever really be replaced, because I just don't think we'll ever have a monoculture like that again. But I also think, as for action stars, I think there's a few contenders. I mean, like obviously his specific thing though, I think you could make a case for Sylvester Stallone, obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger, but they're not doing their thing anymore in the same way. Obviously, you can make a case for like Vin Diesel. There's other people, but people that most of the people now who are doing it, these people who are younger, who have the bigger bodies and stuff, they don't have the same affection for old school Hollywood effects. And I don't think there'll ever be anyone who is like, I need to get on a plane. Like maybe there will be people that like,
I need to learn to halo jump.
Right. I think there will be people who are willing to do it for a movie. Like the producers really want to do it this way, but like how many actors are like stunt geeks like he is, and want to, and willing to like fund the movie themselves? There were Mission Impossible movies where they made him do the stunt first before they would fund the movie or like insure the movie, because they were like, we have to make sure you survive the stunt before we'll insure the rest of the movie.
Yeah, that motorcycle scene, that motorcycle scene, that was the first scene they shot for that movie.
Yeah, because if you die,
you might die, and we don't want to make this whole movie and then you die.
And that's wild. And I don't think we'll have that again, because I just don't think that very few of us are being raised on the same kind of movie. We're used to the CGI of it all, and I just don't think we're going to have the same thing in. Maybe there will be some niche for that, but being that niche, like interest combined with that big a star, I just don't ever see it happening again.
I could see somebody maybe attempt it, but I think what you said exactly captures it, because for me, I think that's what sells me on Cruise's movies and makes them a must-see, even when I'm just hearing about it and it's in development, is the stunt work. Him doing all of his own stunts, doing things that are such like Evel Knievel level crazy work that he's doing that nobody else can do, because he has not only this mythology built around him, this status in Hollywood, but he is such a heavy-hitting producer and able to fund all of these projects that, he's getting the insurance done. You're not going to see as much as maybe somebody like I don't know, Tom Hardy's doing Havoc, and later this summer, and Keanu Reeves, maybe these other actors want to do that, but the studios are never going to let them, because what control do they have as compared to Tom Cruise does with these Mission Impossible films and even Top Gun? And, just in terms of star power and star making ability, this is a guy whose name was bigger than Top Gun Maverick on the poster. It was Tom Cruise, Top Gun Maverick. And there's just not a lot of people who I view, just my view, of a major draw just because of their name, just because they're going to be in something. It piques my interest hearing about it in pre-production. If Denzel Washington's in a movie, I'm interested just because I trust the choices. Same with like Leonardo DiCaprio, Daniel Day-Lewis. Jennifer Lawrence was there for a bit, but then it kind of tailed off in a weird way. And I think the closest person to that currently that has a shot, and not in an action film type of way, but just in terms of the choices that they make and the kind of popularity around them, is Timothée Chalamet. I think that he's teetering on the edge of an oversaturation. He needs a little more little more mystery to his life, I think. And next thing you know, if he can continue to make great choices, get an Oscar, getting all these type of things, maybe pop up in some type of action film here. Well, I mean, he's in the Dune series right there. I think Chalamet has a shot, but it still won't get anywhere close to Tom Cruise level. It's going to be hard to ever have another Tom Cruise. And that's why I'm happy to, even if I don't necessarily like him personally in ways or agree with him in certain ways, I'm definitely there to give him his roses for what he does with his work in these films, and, just purely out there to entertain people and to make, give you a great film going experience.
Yeah. We were just talking about it with the Minecraft movie and the idea that like making something an event, and Tom Cruise, because of his stunts, he makes the movie an event just by making the movie. It's one of the few movies you can be like, it's an event because he's on the side of a plane or he's jumping off the thing, and like, we got to see that in the theater,
I will say, in terms of, is this the last one? Maybe my percentage goes up because he's throwing the whole kitchen sink into this one. He's scuba diving. He's hanging off the plane. He's flying an F-16. We see a shot of him on the air. They're like, you gave him an aircraft carrier, which is just freaking hysterical. So, maybe he is pulling out all the tricks for this one because it's the swan song.
Yeah. I'm excited. You just watched a clip from Multiverse News. If you liked it, go to our channel. We got a whole episode that it comes from. So go check that out and hit the like and subscribe. And we got lots of clips you'll enjoy, but also full hour-long episodes of Multiverse News with lots of things that don't even make it to clips. So check us out.
You stay clippy.